All right, this is Guy Eagle with the Renewable Wisdom Cosmology and Library. We are continuing our journey of passing on the knowledge we've gained through our research. And we're on the numbers 20 and 10 in our foundational body of knowledge. And the 20 and 10 is the totality of everything so far. And that's the hard part about speaking to this, because it's everything. And so we're compressing it into a few sentences and a few words, but they're enormous if you break them apart. So the principle that goes along with this one is a catalyst, similar to the 15 and 5 that we touched on in an earlier video. It has that same kind of function, only it's dealing with a larger body of information. So at the 15 and 5, we were dealing with 11 and 1, 12 and 2, 13 and 3, 14 and 4. Now we're dealing with all those numbers that have went before, bringing them all into a total intelligence or a total wisdom. So in our languaging, we often use the number 20 as the great mystery. That's everything. Everything that exists is the great mystery. The 10, in my cultural way, we would call it the Great Spirit, that connects, the thread that weaves everything together, that makes the relatedness possible. In more of the Western sciences thinking, that would all be called the measure of intellect, the amount of wisdom and the measures on how to measure what that wisdom is. And the knowledge that's contained in the wisdom. That's the way they would term it in their languaging. Great Spirit is a little more hopeful. It's a little more expansive than calling it a measure of intellect. That's a little cold. Kind of, to me anyway, takes me out of relationship to what everything's going on. But that doesn't mean it does that for everybody. That's just me. But you have the 20, which is all 19 numbers put together. You have the 10, which is all 9 numbers put together. And we have to take everything that's contained in that and integrate it into wisdom, knowledge into wisdom. Now, where there's little semantics there, depending on where you come from or what your interpretation is, but the result is the same. That is the universal wisdom of all of it. And catalyzing is one of those words that you could look up over and over and over again, and you may get a different definition of it. But for the purposes of these videos, if you were able to stay with us through all 10 of these videos on principles, we're asking you to just put it all together. What does that really mean? It means as you go through your daily activities, take time and make yourself aware of what your experience is teaching you and how it relates to one of those principles. Allow it to integrate into your system and see if it works for you. That's all we can really ask, and that's all we can hope for. But in the future, we would hope somewhere that the inhabitants of the earth would find some principles, maybe these, maybe others, that will allow us to steer ourselves out of going to sleep and becoming more awake with what's going on around us. That's our hope. So I thank you for staying with us. And as always, there might be something to it. I hope.